What's up, everybody? John Charmijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Fuoco Fatuo, entitled Obsidian Katabasis. This is released on Profound Lore Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Varese, Italy, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very dark, morbid, esoteric hybrid of both death metal and funeral doom metal. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was their 2014 debut full-length entitled The Viper Shivers in the Ashes of What Remains. That album was a very, very strong and well-constructed piece of music. This is a band that takes the best of both of their respective subgenres. Very methodical, brash funeral doom with some absolutely soul-crushing riffs, drum work, crazed vocals, just an overall wonderful listening experience. And of course, prior to that album, this band had put out two very, very well-established EPs in the form of their 2012 self-titled debut EP, and the second EP, which I won't even bother to pronounce. You can look that one up for yourself. But those first two EPs laid the path for what Fuoco Fatuo would soon follow up with of course the aforementioned Viper Slithers in the Ashes of What Remains full length. The last time we had heard something from them was back in 2017 with their sophomoric effort, Backwater. Pretty much the same sort of standard routine, very lengthy songs, very well-constructed musicianship, just an overall really, really killer record. But now moving on into 2021, we have the third full-length from Fuoco Fatuo entitled Obsidian Katabasis. It's 6 tracks, and it clocks in at around an hour in length, and pretty much as is the standard case with a Fuoco Fatuo album, this is an album that you really want to make the time and effort to listen to uninterrupted. You really don't want to have to skip through anything. You really want to listen to this album as one whole big experience. And the main story of Obsidian Katabasis is 3 very, very distinctive songs that get longer as the album goes along. Songs like Obsidian Bulwark, Creation of the Absurd, Thresholds of Non-Existence through Eerie Aeon, and Psychoactive Katabasis. 13, 15, and 17-minute long songs respectively. But the more you listen to those songs and the interludes that come before and after them, you know what type of listening experience you're going to be in for with this Fuoco Fatuo album. And it is just absolutely crushing stuff. If you are a fan of funeral doom or death metal or a mixture of the two, this band brings the goods and they deliver an absolutely heavy, monolithic piece of metal here. Lots and lots of great guitar work to be heard throughout this entire album. That's something that makes every single song stand out and just raise the hairs on your arms or the back of your neck, because that's the type of vibe and essence you get when you listen to these songs. The riffs are very bountiful here, very crushing. You get that doom metal essence and that death metal essence brought in very, very well. As the album goes along and then the interludes come about, you already know this band has a good tendency to take you for a ride. It may seem soft and relaxed at first, but then you get thrown on into extreme heaviness with the more build-ups and anticipations of these riffs and these bass tones. They just sound absolutely phenomenal. The bass work on here is very good too. It definitely holds its own amongst the dark, heavy riffs that you hear throughout this entire record. When it comes to the drumming, this drumming is absolutely fantastic. Of course, it's the typical sort of funeral doom sort of drumming style, very slow, mid-paced, but then things do begin to pick up as the song progresses along, and I think it's really, really fantastic drum work to be heard around here. Great pacing, great energy for a funeral doom record, and I think it's really, really awesome. And when it comes to the vocals, of course, the vocals are something that make Fuoco Fatuo stand out a lot. And I think that the vocal performance on here is very, very crazed and depraved at times. Of course, you get these deep, bellowing growls, but then the vocalist begins to get into a more higher sort of register as he begins to say the things that he does, and he does so in such a very depraved and emotional sort of stance. I just love that about this vocalist. He has some seriously great depth and determinations in the things that he's saying, in the words that they're executed, bellowed and growled out in the best ways that he can. And that's what makes the vocal performance on this album really worth paying attention to. So overall, this is another fantastic album from Fuoco Fatuo. I don't really see too many people talking about this band, but I think more people need to be bringing Fuoco Fatuo into their discussions as one of the best contemporary death doom bands to exist today. If you're a fan of what this band has been putting out, I would highly recommend you check out this album. This is maybe some of their best work yet. And yeah, definitely listen to this album all the way through. Don't skip through anything. Turn out the lights, light up a candle, just chill and get taken back by the craziness that this album offers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you a link in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Fuoco Fatuo Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally, and it is available physically as a CD. I believe there is also a vinyl version, but I don't know if there are any vinyl copies available at this moment. If there are, I will link you to them in the description box. So again, the album is Obsidian Katabasis by Fuoco Fatuo. This is released on Profound Law Records. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a pretty solid 9 out of 10. Very awesome funeral doom with death metal essence. Fuoco Fatuo are the real deal. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to previous Fuoco Fatuo releases. Or any of you guys into Fuoco Fatuo, definitely let me know. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Hell out.